Holly. That's HOLLYLEILEE.
Actually, it's Molly with an M.
Yeah, that's what I said. Polly.
Hey, can I say something real quick? My name is Austin Larson, and I fucking love tattoos. I also love podcasts. Thank you for listening to the first episode of my new show, the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast. In this first episode, I had the honor and the privilege of interviewing my good friend, tattoo artist Cam West. Unfortunately, due to both operator error and some circumstances outside of my control, I wasn't quite able to get the audio captured in its highest quality, save for about the last 5 minutes of the interview. Now, I promise that the majority of this interview isn't unbearable. At the very worst, it sounds like a jailhouse phone call, but I promise you, it sounds better than a jailhouse phone call. However, I was able to correct my mistake and learn from it, so hopefully this won't be an issue on future episodes. I'll have some more information after the interview, so please stick around.
You're listening to the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast.
All right, we're live here in beautiful Browns Edition. I'm joined today by my guest, Cam West.
Hey.
Cam's a tattoo artist over at Living Skin out in Spokane Valley. All right, and Cam, thank you so much for appearing on the first episode of the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast.
Yeah, man, thanks for having me. This is cool.
Hey, of course, this is my first attempt at a podcast. If it hasn't become already abundantly clear, I don't have a background in audio production, so this is just this is a very DIY thing, you know?
Hey, podcast virgins.
Right? Hey, there we go. Both of our first times. It's gotta be good. So, I mean, I'm not a tattoo artist. I'm just a dude who loves tattoos, and I'm a dude who loves podcasts. I figure if I put the two together, might as well just see what sticks, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Any podcasts you've been following lately?
Listen to a lot of tattoo ones, like No Lies, Just Bullshit, Books Closed, and then a lot of true crime ones.
Nice.
Like Last Podcast on the Left and all that.
Ooh, that's a really good one.
Yeah.
I like Small Town Murder. That's another good one I really enjoy.
Yeah. I listen to podcasts now, other than music.
Hey, there you go.
I don't listen to music anymore.
Shit.
I'm tattooing.
It's overrated anyway,
Right.
you know? It's, well, now you're doing podcasts, so wow, just covering all fronts. And then let's see, it was, right about a month ago you celebrated your 3rd anniversary tattooing full-time?
Yep, my 3rd year outside my apprenticeship.
Nice, well, congratulations, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, and how long was your apprenticeship?
It was 2 years. 2 long years.
Damn, that's a really long time. What were you doing before you started your apprenticeship?
So I was working at an aerospace company, working shitty hours, shitty bosses. All my free time I was painting and drawing, trying to get into the tattoo world. It was hard.
Hey, no, I feel it. Lots of just, manual labor, just, crappy jobs, 9 to 5 that you hate. It's so would you say that, was there like one deciding catalyst where you just kind of threw down your tools and said, fuck it, I'm tattooing? Or was it just kind of something that an opportunity presented itself maybe? Or
No, yeah, so me and my friend were at the bar, and there was some really cool artwork on the wall, and we were just looking at it. And I've always drawn and painted and stuff growing up. Was never good, but hey, gotta start. And I looked at him, I was like, I'm gonna be a fucking tattoo artist. And that next day, I just dedicated all my free time to drawing and painting and drawing and painting.
Shit, so just one day you just kind of, at the bar, you just kind of...
I've always wanted to do it.
Okay.
I just never had I guess I never had the confidence to actually go for it until that day when I said, fuck it.
Nice, and you just said, fuck it, put your mind to it, and here we are.
Yep.
Damn, dude.
Exactly.
That's awesome. All right, and so... what did you have to do to prepare for your apprentice? Like, was there an office you just go to and just, hey, I want to learn how to tattoo, or what do you do?
No, so I was getting tattooed at Living Skin by the owner, and I was always asking him, how do I get an apprenticeship? What do I need to do? And he was giving me these, ideas and stuff. It took me about 5 years of me drawing shitty drawings and painting shitty paintings for him to realize that I have the drive to actually do tattoos and to learn
Okay, so you just kind of hounded him for 5 years,
5 years.
then eventually he
Yeah,
just kind of.
I'd hit him up and say, "Hey, man, you need somebody to come clean your toilets today, or you want somebody to mop the shop today?"
That's
And
dedication
he
right there.
ignored me for those messages. He would talk to me when I was getting tattooed, but he ignored me in the messages. Yeah, and then one day I was driving to my old job, and he called me and asked if I wanted to start my apprenticeship. So I quit
Damn.
and started my apprenticeship that next day.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what you got to do. Okay, so then going on that, when you made the decision to start the apprenticeship, start tattooing full time, how did people in your life react to that?
My mom and dad were supportive on the outside, but come to find out years later, my mom was actually very upset
Oh, wow.
because with my old job, I was making good money. Had 401k, full benefits. It was a very secure job, and tattooing, you don't have any of that unless you do it by yourself. So
Okay, so I mean, you got the support there, but outwardly,
I still do have a few other family members that are not very happy that I'm tattooing, but whatever.
hey, fuck them, right? It's
Exactly.
yeah. And then friends wise, I mean, like most of your friends pretty supportive, like your circle, that type of thing.
Very supportive. I have a very very small circle of friends that we've all been friends for. Oh man, 20 years.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah. So when I very first started actually tattooing, I called my best friend. I was like, hey, it was like I think it was a couple days after or before his birthday, and I was like, hey, come get a Sailor Jerry traditional rose on your thigh for your birthday for free.
Oh fuck yeah.
Obviously, and it's the worst thing I've ever done in my life. But all my friends, I've tattooed all my close friends. When I was very first starting, this the worst shit ever.
Hey, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, like super supportive. My brother is very supportive. Tattooed them. My dad did his very first tattoo. My dad, my grandpa, a lot of really cool family and friends that let me.
Definitely. Oh wow,
fuck
that's
them up a
hey,
little bit.
no, you got to learn somehow, right? It's okay, and I know you kind of mentioned earlier how you always knew you'd be doing art, So as a kid, like, do you say that you did want to be a tattoo artist, or?
I knew I wanted to do something with art. Like I said, at the time I didn't have the confidence to even try to be a tattooer. Just knowing that it's permanent, it's forever. So yeah, I went to school for fine arts. Halfway through school, that was when I got my apprenticeship.
Oh
So
shit. Okay,
I stopped
so
going to school too.
yeah, I'd probably quit school too.
Yeah, figured I can get more knowledge in my apprenticeship for free.
I mean, that was a Mark Twain quote, right? Don't let school get in the way of your education.
There we go. Yeah.
Hey, all right, I feel it. Okay, but then, so you feel like you've always been able to express yourself artistically pretty naturally?
Yeah. The art I used to do was never very. It wouldn't translate into tattoos at all. It was just kind of my own style. When I switched tried to start doing like tattooable kind of art, it's kind of when everything really kind of took off.
So from your apprenticeship, you said it was about 2 years, right?
2 years, yeah.
I bet you have some crazy stories from that.
Toilets.
Oh God.
Yeah, picking up puke. Some lady passed out, puked all over the place. So mopped that up, and yeah, about the first 6 to 8 months. I can't remember the exact time, but in my apprenticeship, I was still working at my other job. That was a swing shift, so I worked from 2 p.m. or 2:32 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then I was in the shop from 7 a.m. to 2.
Oh fuck.
So those days were very, very long. 7 days a week. It's all paid off now.
That's fucking dedication, though. I mean, that's.
I feel these days you gotta put in the work, and the time and the dedication. You can't. Everybody, a lot of people want stuff handed to them.
I guess I was going to ask, when you first started tattooing, were you squeamish around blood? But you've just talked about cleaning up piss, puke, and shit. So, I mean, I imagine blood's kind of a nice change of pace.
Oh, yeah.
That's okay. So, what would you say that to people outside the industry, what do you think the biggest misconception they have about tattooers, tattoo artists is?
That we're low-life scumbags. The older generation.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, sometimes I still get the dirty looks. You wear that shit like a badge of honor. It's
yeah. Which is not the case for everybody.
Yeah, no, exactly.
These days, it's a lot different than it was, 20 years ago.
I think much like, in any profession, you'll find people from all different walks of life united by, the fact that this is what they're doing to earn a living, It's
Yeah.
okay. So I guess have you ever faced prejudice or discrimination, just when someone hears, "Oh, you're a tattoo artist,"
Mm.
you're
Yeah, like a lot of girls.
a lot of girls?
Trying to date girls.
Oh, okay.
They have this, not all of them, but I've dated a couple that have this mindset where I'm broke, can't afford anything, and
What?
yeah,
Wow.
or that I'm a scumbag and I'm nailing my girl clients.
Oh my
after the
God,
tattoo
that's wow. So you both ends of the spectrum, both bad. That's
Yeah.
Jesus, man. You can't catch a break. Okay. I guess since tattoos are something so visual, and I mean something that everyone can critique just because it's visual, it's there, it's present. Would you say you deal with a lot of armchair critiques in this industry? Just people, like while you're tattooing, or I guess not even while you're tattooing them, but people who don't know shit about art telling you how to draw.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That I worded that weird, so I apologize.
No.
That's
Yeah, I get a lot of people in, nowadays, they should just show us their phone and say, I want this, and it's off Pinterest, and some stupid flower, stupid whatever. And yeah, and then you draw it, make my own, and they'll say, no, more like this. And it's like they want it the exact same way as it is on the phone. And or you're sitting there drawing, and like the boyfriend or the girlfriend will look at it like, oh, you sure you want this? Like, to the other one, you sure you want that? It's like, man, it's not your tattoo.
yeah,
It's not going on your skin.
exactly,
You know?
And even then, it's like, as someone who draws and paints so much, I mean, having just someone essentially just, hey, can you do a copy and paste from Pinterest? That's got to be a
Yeah.
fucking killer.
Yeah, it's annoying.
All right, I hear that. Okay, but then, I mean, since you've been tattooing a while, and because your tattoos are a very distinctive style that resonate, I mean, if people love traditional tattoos, they love your shit. I mean, just because so much of it is very bold, vibrant, traditional. Would you say that you develop a rapport with, I guess, returning clients similar to like a bartender or a barber or barista? Or,
Yeah, definitely. Oh, like you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I keep coming back for more. It's
Yeah.
okay. No, definitely, and I mean, I always enjoy it. It's very, it's always good. But I guess on the flip side of that coin, I mean, just because I've known you for so long and we've spent so many hours, in the chair together, we've talked about some real shit. Would you say it's ever a problem that people just kind of mistake you for their therapist or their counselor?
Some people tell me things that I wish I never heard.
Ooh.
Like, where it's like almost like ruined my day.
Oh.
When they tell me.
Shit.
It's kind of one of those things where I love that they have the trust in me to tell me that kind of stuff, the very personal stuff. But at the same time, it's like, what do I say back? I didn't go to school to talk about your problems, I mean,
Yeah.
I can be nice and supportive and try to help the person as much as possible. But yeah, sometimes it's like, I just want to put headphones on.
Yeah, no, I understand that, man. It's in my line of work as a barista, sometimes just even something simple like, what are you guys up to today,
Mhm.
Oh, I'm getting a hot chocolate because I just got out of chemo. And it's
Right.
like, well, I'm glad you're getting the chemo instead of, some holistic treatment that's not going to work.
Yeah.
I mean, it's what do you fucking say? I feel that. Okay, and then I guess on the flip side, people who talk too much, do you get a lot of the people who just want to put on headphones and zone out?
Yeah, actually, I really like when the client is like, hey, do you mind if I put headphones in, listen to music, watch Netflix or whatever? It's like, no, please. And I'm like, hey, if I need something, if I need you to adjust or to move, just tap on the shoulder.
There you go.
Yeah, just tell them, as long as they're not moving, not trying to adjust the headphones or start laughing when they're watching some, funny show in the office.
Oh man, that would be the worst.
Yeah, I was tattooing a lady once, and she was like, hey, you mind if I watch Netflix? I was like, oh, go for it. It was a pretty big tattoo, and I don't know what she was watching, but she was watching a horror movie, and she kept on jumping.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so I'm tattooing her. I was like, hey, you can't be moving. She's like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm watching this. And like I said, I can't remember the movie, but I was like, well, you're jumping a lot, like you're moving.
Yeah,
really
that's
bad.
out of everything. You
Yeah.
would think that,
Yeah, and she was uplifted. She's like, oh, I am. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you can't be doing that.
No, I feel that. That and I guess not quite the same thing, but getting a tattoo and somewhere kind of ticklish. You ever have problems with people squirming around there? Or?
Yeah, definitely ribs. I mean the ribs just suck.
Yeah. Oh God, I can't
But-
even. Yeah.
Yeah. I've had a few where tattooing the ribs and you just touch their skin to stretch it and they are moving. because they're ticklish and stuff like that.
I was gonna say, I know when we got the inside of my arms, like upper near the armpit, that felt kind of weird because it's obviously, like the burning, stinging, whatever you want to call it, the needle moving. But then you got like a finger right there in my armpit,
yeah.
so it's like, fuck, I'm trying not to, but
I was doing a little dagger on this dude's on the side of his face, like kind of up by his ear.
Oh shit.
And
okay.
he's like, we were like, man, like, I mean, it was small, it took half hour or something like that. We're like 2 minutes in, and he's like, I need to stand up. And I was like, all right. And I didn't even realize it at the time, but my tattooing hand was like digging into the inside of his ear.
Oh,
like all that pressure was like on the inside of his ear.
So it was like bright red, just looked like you got punched.
And I was like, oh shit, man. I'm sorry.
Oh damn, that's okay. But then, but yeah, as someone who doesn't just specialize in tracing other people's work, someone who actually does do a lot of drawing, painting. Ideally, would you like exposure? Like not only as a tattoo artist, but would you like your paintings and your non-tattoo related art to get exposed equally as well?
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I do know that a lot of the stuff I do, Grandma's not going to be hanging on our wall.
Unless she's cool, I mean.
I've had some stuff hanging up like coffee shops and stuff like that.
Nice.
Which is always really cool, especially when you're invited to hang stuff up.
Oh yeah, not just like, hey, you guys want some foot in the window, but
Right.
definitely being invited. Okay.
Yeah. It'd be cool to have some of my paintings like in people's houses or.
Oh yeah, no,
something
that'd be hella dope. You you make prints of a couple things, right? Or...
Yeah, I usually make prints when we go to conventions.
Okay, very nice.
Just to have something on the table, other than portfolios and business cards. Just sell them pretty cheap. Just try to make my money back off what I spent on the prints. But yeah, just to get artwork out there. They usually do pretty well at conventions.
Very cool. Yeah,
awesome.
No, I mean, it's I wish you did more. It's
yeah.
I like your paintings. Okay, and then so I guess kind of tying into the next question, but since you become a professional, you tattoo out of a shop, you have a chair in that shop and everything. Have people approached you about doing like private gigs, in a house, out of a truck, anything like that?
Yeah. I was invited to a wedding, and it was my friend's brother.
Okay.
So it wasn't like really my friend, but I knew him, and he was getting married over on the west side of the state.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, hey, bring your tattoo equipment. And I kind of laughed. Oh yeah. And he's like, no, seriously. He's like, during the reception, we can set you up, and you can do tattoos. And I was like, no, you can't do that. I was like, first of all, you're having an outdoor wedding.
Oh yeah, no, especially, and then also, I mean, even just like if I'm inviting you to my wedding as a guest, I think it'd be kind of shitty. Like, hey, so I know I invited you to be here a guest and everything. You want to work?
Right.
You interested at all?
Yeah. Yeah. So I've had a few people ask me, if I, will bring my equipment home and tattoo out of my apartment. That way, I can charge less. It's like, dude, no, that's.
I think you charge more for that, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah. You gotta pack all my shit, just set it back up.
Yeah.
And pack it all again the next morning, go to work.
Right? And then even then, I mean, just like an apartment where someone's living and shit, I mean, how do you keep that as clean as a shop, know? It's...
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize what it takes to, like what we do every morning in the shop, we clean the shit out of that shop.
Oh, yeah, it smells like a fucking hospital,
right?
In the good way,
yeah,
it doesn't,
Not like death.
Yeah, no, it doesn't smell like death in there, no, it smells very sterile, it's, I want to get my wisdom teeth taken out there. I liked it better than the clinic I actually ended up going to.
You used to have your wisdom teeth?
No, I do.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Next appointment, take them out.
Sweet, fuck yeah, there we go. Right? Well, my tonsils are getting a little big,
so
there we go.
I might I'll shorten my
need a 2-for-1. There we go. All right, so I guess at the at-home thing, how do you feel about scratchers?
Hate it. It's awful. But now there's scratchers that are getting into shops, and those shops are just
that's
so
awful.
Bad. But it's so easy nowadays. People just go on Amazon or eBay and buy a kit for $100.
Even less, yeah. No, it's asinine. I mean, I feel so bad because I've seen so many people thinking they're getting, like, oh, check out this thing my homie did on the low, and it's it's something that your homie did on the low. Yeah. That's what it fucking looks like. It's there forever. It's at like on one hand, I do want to say, it's important to support your friends with their art, all that type of shit. And then of course, I mean, don't let something being really exclusive seeming and, cost prohibitive, don't let that allow you from, or don't let that prevent you from practicing your art. But at the same time, I mean, just because you bought the machine off of Amazon and, you can draw well on paper, that doesn't mean you should be fucking up people's skin, It's...
Yeah, and like when it comes to supporting your friends, even if your friend wants to tattoo and he's trying to do it out of his house, you can support him and say, hey man, your art is amazing or really good. You have really good potential. Why don't you try to build a portfolio and go to the shop and get a real apprenticeship? That's better support in the long run than, hey man, here's my arm. Here's $10.
There you go. Okay, no, definitely. Because, I mean, I've known a lot of people that I'm like, oh, that's...
Yeah, we get a lot of people that come into the shop and like, hey, can you guys fix this or cover this up? And it's just like, dude, it's so bad.
Not happening.
Why'd you do that? Why'd you get it that big? You know?
Right? Okay, so I guess is there any advice you'd have to, like I guess the theoretical 19-year-old scratcher who's about to go buy his kit off of Amazon, start fucking up his friends? I mean, is like what would you tell him?
Yeah, don't do that. Don't buy that kit. One of the first questions I was asked when I got my apprenticeship in the shop. Sorry.
Oh no, hey, absolutely, man. It's a call-in show.
He asked me if I ever tattooed at my house or if I own a tattoo machine.
Okay.
And I said no. He goes, good, because if you did, you would be gone right now.
Shit.
Yeah. So that's a big thing. Is like a lot of scratchers, they'll be tattooing at their house and they go to a shop like, hey, I've been tattooing for 2-3 years.
Oh. Okay.
And it's like, and then a reputable shop's gonna be like, okay, no, you're out of here. You don't, or stop tattooing. Let's see your art and let's break you down. Start from the bottom. Do your apprenticeship the right way. Don't tattoo. Don't tattoo out of your house. But man, if you want to tattoo, if you're a kid about to buy a kit off Amazon, eBay, don't buy some watercolor paper, some paint, some brushes, and start painting. That's what you do. And then you do 1,000 paintings, and then you take them to a shop that you want to apprentice at. And you say, hey, here's what I got. What can I do better? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do to get an apprenticeship here? You need to definitely go about it the right way, because you're not going to be respected in the tattoo community if you're scratching. You're going to get your fingers broke.
Yeah, no, definitely. Don't fucking do it. It's okay. And then I guess on the upside of that, so for people who just say, oh, well, I'm not a scratcher, I'm not getting an apprenticeship. What do you think of those tattoo schools that seem to be becoming more commonplace every year?
Those are awful too. The tattoo community is getting too flooded. Tattoo world, these schools, hey, it's a 6-month school, and you pay us $25,000, and you'll be a pro tattooer when you get out. And it's the same thing. You're gonna come to a shop that you want to tattoo at, and you're gonna go, oh, I got this certificate from blah 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 tattoo school. When can I start? And we're gonna say never. Not here.
That's not something that, just not something you do.
I'm glad in Spokane there's none of those.
Oh God, can you imagine not only a tattoo school in Spokane, but just what would come out of there?
Oh man, yeah.
Oh God, and the quality of the instruction, though. Like who would teach at the Spokane tattoo school?
Just thinking that, yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a couple names in my head. I'm sure that they're probably the same ones you got in yours. But
right.
Yeah, it's. Okay, but yeah, and definitely, would you say that tattoos, I guess, not contributing to the problem, but because tattoos are becoming more mainstream, would you say that that's leading to a lot more people in the field that really have no business being there?
I don't know.
I guess that was kind of a weird question.
No,
so.
I get what you're saying, though. It kind of comes back to the oversaturation of tattooers and tattoo shops in Spokane. A lot of shops, they'll come in to our shop and ask what our shop minimum is. And like, oh, it's a little too high. So they'll go to some shop down the street that they're not really...
The $40 special, right?
Yeah. And then they'll come back in a month like, hey, can you guys fix this? So yeah, it's just kind of like everyone thinks they can do it. Like, oh, I can trace this.
Yeah,
I can tattoo on this.
I've seen you draw shit before, like I've seen you with the iPad and Procreate. That's the program, right? Procreate, But I've seen you hunched over, drawing at shit. I've gone to other shops and I've literally seen the dude with this fucking Fisher-Price light box, like just print something off of Google and then just trace that and like, okay, so are you thinking this, And it's like, I mean, that's, oh man. And especially if it's something dumb, like some dumb little flash, and I'm like, oh, you couldn't just draw that? That's, I mean, I can't draw worth a shit, but I'm also not tattooing, so I mean, I feel like I get a little bit of a pass there. It's okay. Sorry, but going back to just the oversaturation. So yeah, shows like Ink Master, Inked, Black Ink Crew, all that shit, those have become really popular, in the past couple of years, I guess not so much even as just a like a game show type thing, like the one with Dave Navarro, whatever fucking one that was called. But, a lot of them just as, like a reality unscripted show, of what goes on in a tattoo show. Is there any, like, in your experience, is there any truth to that? I mean, do you watch any of those shows, or is that something
I've seen a few episodes of Ink Master. Never got into it.
Okay, yeah.
But it gives people a false hope, because they're doing, like, these half sleeves in, like, 5 or 6 hours, whatever the time frame they're given.
Oh, shit. I didn't even realize that, but yeah, that's fuck.
Yeah. People come in for a half sleeve or whatever, and we'll give them an estimate of time, and they'll be like, oh, that's a lot, that's a long time. And it's like, well, it depends what it is,
Yeah,
like
you know,
style,
it's-
I mean, yeah, you can't get a full-blown realistic whatever, Clocks Roses or something like that, hourglass beads
Yeah, no, you can't do
in
that.
5 hours. Yeah, and all the drama that's on that shit. I mean, I know there's some drama in shops, but
But shit like
no,
that, you know,
yeah.
it's, yeah.
Yeah, it's all for TV, all for the money.
Which, yeah, that's good, because oh man, I don't think I'd want to go to a shop with that much drama all the fucking time,
Right.
you know? It's like, I've
I mean-
watched them fight for 20 minutes, no one's even, set up a machine.
I was like, you've been in our shop, but there's what, 4 of us there?
Yeah, usually
And-
3, sometimes less in the past couple times. It's
Yeah.
been, yeah.
Yeah, and it's just like we're all like friends. We all really get along. No drama at all.
Just
and
bullshit,
then when
you
people
know?
are tattooing our heads are down, tattooing, no yelling, no.
Nobody looks up to talk. It's
No,
awesome,
yeah.
Just, hey, see you later. But I mean, yeah, when it's just a bunch of people that absorbed in the work versus that many people absorbed in themselves, I mean, it's
Yeah,
big difference right there.
yeah, a lot of egos.
Ooh, yeah, definitely. That would, but I mean, I figure any field where, I guess you're not directly but indirectly competing with other people like that.
Mhm.
I mean, it's, yeah, I'm hot shit. It's
Right. Yeah.
kind of have to be though, right? It's
Yeah, I'm gonna be confident, but definitely not gonna say I'm better than this person or better than that person. But
that's probably healthy,
Yeah.
because a lot of people would, and it's like, oh my god, it's
Yeah.
it's not a race. I don't even remember who that quote's from, but the only competition is yourself from yesterday, and it's like, but
yeah.
I do like that,
Yeah.
It's but yeah, and then you guys are a cash only shop. You have the ATM in there. You guys don't accept debit or anything. Do you get people trying to barter with you?
quite often, actually.
Really? Okay, so that happens pretty often. Is it usually like, I guess, would you say that it's more barter, like they're trying to get out of paying in exchange for a service or another good, or would you say there's a lot of haggling too over price?
It's more of a trade.
Okay.
Some girls will say, "Hey, I'll give you this for this tattoo," and it's like, "Well, sorry, but that's not gonna pay my bills."
Right,
you know?
and is that going to be worth what the tattoo is?
Right,
It's
yeah.
like, is your mouth made of gold or something?
Right. Yeah, this tattoo will last forever.
There you
This
go.
This is gonna be 15 minutes, or 3 minutes maybe.
Right, yeah, depending on how good it is, right? Okay, yeah, no, I feel that.
We just had a guy in the shop the other day. So the owner of the shop, he does Square. He uses Square sometimes.
Oh, like that's the one with the like you use the credit card and it
Yeah.
plugs into your phone.
Mhm, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Some guy came in the shop the other day that set an appointment up with him. He was tattooing, so I set the appointment up for him, and he was paying with a card. It's $100 deposit. So do the Square, and I was like, all right, well, and we have to charge tax on Square.
That makes sense, yeah.
Obvious. So I was like, all right, well, so it's $108.90 or whatever it is. And he's like, you can't fucking charge tax on that.
What?
And I was kind of taken back, and I was like, what? He's like looking at me. He's like, that's against the fucking law. And I was like, what are you talking about? I was like, we got an ATM right there. Take your card and get cash out. He's like, well, what's the fee? I was like, oh, it's like a $3 fee.
Yeah, it's tiny,
Yeah.
I've used it before. It's not going to break the bank.
Yeah, and yeah, he was just freaking out over that he had to pay tax. So he ended up getting out of the ATM, and then he was pissed that he had to pay the fee. Asked him if he can get that $3 back in his appointment.
What?
Yeah,
Wow.
$3 back.
Can you
$3
knock?
off on
Can
his
you
day-
knock
on
the
his
$3?
appointment. I was just like, oh, no.
Can I get $3 fucking
Yeah.
now? Oh my god.
Go walk down the street and find some quarters and
Yeah.
get your $3 back.
Siri,
You know?
oh my god! Like if I tried to tip a tattoo like $3, that I'd be fucking embarrassed to tattoo that, like to tip that,
Right.
Just, hey, this was a great job on the tattoo. This was in between the cushions of the couch, man.
Yeah,
That's all
there you
you.
go.
That's what
Yeah.
the fuck. And freaking out over shit like that, It's like, well, duh, you gotta charge that type of shit. You're a business, And I
Right.
guess one thing that I didn't even touch on the notes, but just you kind of brought it up right there, the importance of a deposit. I mean.
Mhm.
Would you say that, I guess not fairly common, but how often do you get just broken appointments or people get pissed about not getting their deposit back?
Quite not too often. We use a booking app that sends the client a text or an email, like I think the day or the day of, or the day before or the day of the appointment.
Okay.
So if they no show or no call no show, that's on them. They're meaning to do that. It's on purpose. So they'll never call or come in and ask for the deposit back. We do have a deposit sheet that we give that they sign and they get a copy of, and it says the date, time of the appointment, what they're getting, single session, multi-session,
Oh, that's
color, black,
handy.
and gray, and it has a list of what would you have to do to forfeit your deposit. And it's like no call, no show, a whole list of stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I bet,
Um,
that's one thing people, I guess, another thing that I didn't touch on, but now you're kind of bringing up, I mean, a lot of people don't realize that you have to be in a right, set physically and mentally, to get tattooed,
Mhm.
like people, like, I had one lady who was a customer, in my cafe once, just telling me about her artist fucking what's his fuck at some other shop. I really don't know. But yeah, how he'll like totally let her, like hit whiskey before he tattoos, or just some liquid courage.
Oh,
And I'm
yeah.
like, that's bullshit. I mean, first off, I guess I've never been so afraid of discomfort of a tattoo that I need to be drunk. But also, I mean, that's gonna fuck you up. I mean, I think that especially with as much as it thins your blood, I mean, you'd probably have a tough time tattooing that, right?
Yeah, you do a line and
All that just gushing out, no, that'd be.
yeah, I was gonna say something, forgot.
No, hey, it's all good. If it comes back to you, please just go ahead.
I was about the
It's-
deposit.
Oh yeah, okay.
No, lost it.
Hey, shit, sorry, man. It's Well, if it comes back, yeah, just let me know. All right. And so I guess, but going back to stuff people ask you to draw. Have people approached you about drawing, like hateful imagery before?
Yeah, had a guy call the shop one time, and he had a swastika on his neck, and he called and he was like, "Hey, how much would it cost to cover up the swastika I have on my neck?" I was like, "Oh, you want to cover it up? I'll do it cheap. What do you want?" He's like, "Oh, like a black rose." And I was like, "Oh, sweet." I was like, "Yeah, come on in. I'll do it cheap. Like $50 if you want to cover that hateful shit up."
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
And
That's cool.
yeah, and he's like, no. Oh, he came in and he's like, no, I don't want to cover it up. I want to redo it now
What?
and make it more bold. And I was like, okay, no. I was like, no, I'm not gonna. I was like, you said you wanted a rose. I was like, yeah, no, I want it fixed. I want it more bold and thick. And I was like, no, absolutely not.
I mean, if you want to fix a swastika tattoo, we got a fucking belt sander in the back.
Right? Yeah. I had a guy come in looking at portfolios. He really liked my work, and I was pretty excited. Because he was talking about doing like daggers and all this stuff, and then he wanted some the SS bolts, and I was like, no. I was like, I'll do the dagger, but I'm not gonna do no SS bolts. He was like, what about the dagger and one bolt and a bolt on each side? I was like, I'm not gonna do SS bolts any way, shape, or form. It's not gonna happen. Sorry. So he left. He was all pissy and took off, and I was like, oh, sorry, but I'm not gonna do that kind of shit.
Yeah, no, because I mean, it's hateful, it's awful, and then you don't want your name associated with that
Exactly.
shit.
Yeah. Yeah, would you get that done?
Yeah.
Okay, okay, cool. Never gonna go to him.
Right? Yeah, he's a fucking, white supremacist. It's man, that'd be. But then again, yeah, that's one thing that I mean, I've never seen like a well executed swastika tattoo.
Right.
I mean, like I've seen ones that where the guy, like outlined it and didn't color outside the lines or anything. But I've never seen something like, oh wow, that's a really artistically done. I mean, that's wow. It's
You took that to a whole new level there.
wow, fucking Ed Hardy over here. It's all right. Now you do all styles of tattooing, well. I mean, with your painting and everything. But you, would you say it's fair to say you specialize in traditional tattoos?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I love doing traditional tattoos. Luckily, my name is kind of getting out now in Spokane with kind of associated with traditional tattoos.
Fuck yeah.
So
that's good.
yeah.
Okay. So I guess what about traditional makes it, just what do you love about it?
Just love the boldness, the bright colors, just they're simple but effective.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
No, I know exactly what you mean.
They're gonna last forever.
Definitely.
A lot of people get like the portraits and stuff. It's just a matter of time before those kind of wash out. But yeah, traditional tattoos is gonna look like a traditional tattoo from when you're 30 to when you're 70. So,
Bold will hold.
Yep.
Hell yeah, I feel that. All right, and so like just the things you're talking about there, like with the bold colors, the kind of simplicity, but then the contrast, like with the thick outlines. Is that something that even when you were a kid drawing around, like you kind of knew you liked, or?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had a uncle who have an uncle.
Okay, yeah.
He's an animator now, but he was always drawing Disney characters and cartoons and stuff. And when I was
sweet.
a kid, I asked my mom and dad to take me to my grandparents' house where my uncle, he was still living there, so he can show me how to draw Mickey Mouse and Goofy. And
Oh hell yeah.
one time he drew me a skateboarder on a half pipe, and then like I would try to draw that. But yeah, like those simple kind of cartoony-ish designs, just always kind of been attracted to that.
Okay.
I'm not saying traditional tattoos are cartoon.
No. But I definitely I see
Right.
what you mean there.
But-
I mean, just because I mean Mickey, I mean the color wise, and besides like the gold buttons, there's a lot of black, white, and red. Which I mean for traditional, I mean those three right there, are just huge. I mean it's.
Right.
And of course, I mean the cartoons always seem to have a nice thicker outline to differentiate
Yeah.
them from the background. So
Yep.
it's and I feel like especially a lot of the older cartoons, they had a bit of a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor that translates well to traditional. I mean
Right.
because a lot of those tattoos are. That's one thing that I guess I love about traditional personally is the message being kind of conveyed that it's never a fucking serious one.
Right.
It's I mean I don't know if just because I'm getting older or what, but I kind of fucking hate serious tattoos or tattoos that take themselves seriously. Like this little headstone you did on my wrist a couple months ago. I saw this one guy. It was a headstone with something. It was like, oh yeah, die with memories, not dreams. And I'm like, motherfucker. Only thing I'm taking to the grave is debt and regret. And
Right.
fuck it, we're doing that. So
Yeah.
that's yeah. Okay. And then so I mean, you have most of your body tattooed. I
Mhm.
mean, I feel like I have nothing compared to you. What, both arms, your entire neck? You have a lot of ink, and
Yeah. The only place I really have left is my stomach.
Oh, okay,
That's-
like right on the guts.
Yep. I have a few little spots on my legs. My feet. I don't think I've ever get my feet tattooed.
Oh yeah,
I don't
that's-
even like touching my own feet.
No,
So like I actually despise touching my feet. I don't want anyone touching my feet.
So you weren't gonna go into podiatry if tattoos didn't work.
No, that was like my 10th option.
Oh shit. Oh man. Okay. But yeah, and then is it your right or your left arm that's done out in traditional?
My right.
Oh shit, mine too.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
I couldn't remember if it was the same one, but okay. I'm sure that you've gotten a lot. I feel that especially with traditional more than anything, just because a lot of the motifs are very either nautical or maritime, just because of the origins of the art form and everything. Do you get that a lot? People just say, "Oh, hey, you must have been in the Navy" or
Oh, yeah.
something. Just looking at you.
Yeah. Were you in the Navy, or was your dad in the Navy, or something like that? Like, no, my grandpa was in the Marines.
Oh, okay. There. My grandpa was in the Navy, but
Yeah.
I mean, I wasn't. My dad wasn't.
Yeah.
I've never understood it. Just
Yeah.
especially like I've had like right when I got the anchor on my right forearm done. I actually had a couple guys who were in the Navy ask me, oh, were you in the Navy? And I'm like,
Yeah.
no, it's. But if you look real closely, the Eagle Globe and Anchor that the U.S. Navy uses as their insignia looks nothing like. I'm like, so you guys don't know your fucking. You guys don't
Yeah.
even know you can't recognize it. It's
So my best friend, he has 2 anchors tattooed on his thumbs. He has like 3 tattoos. 2 anchors on his thumbs, and he got them. Oh man, maybe 10ish years ago.
Okay.
And he lives over on the west side now. We went over and we were hanging out with him. He's like, "Yeah, I'm getting them removed." And I was like, "Yeah." I just thought because they're on your thumbs, they don't hold very well.
Oh,
Pretty,
yeah.
they're pretty blown out and
Mhm.
faded. And he's like, "Yeah." He's like, "People ask me every fucking day if I'm in the Navy." I was like, "Oh yeah, that would be annoying. Yeah, go and get those removed."
Yeah, no, that was I mean, after I kind of filled it in with everything else, but then for a while when I just had the like the anchor and then the diving helmet right next to it, people were like,
Oh, yeah.
I just I told people it was muff diving, but I
Right.
mean, it's but yeah, and I mean, I've never understood it because okay, I get that traditional has a lot of, nautical maritime themes whatever, but I don't feel like people like look at a black and gray sleeve and go, "Oh, so what prison were you in?"
Right. Yeah.
It's, because I mean that
Yeah, associates with that a little bit.
right? Yeah, but people never pick up on that, or at least they don't say it aloud, I guess that.
Man, I had just tattooed this guy. He just got out of prison. He was like in there for 20 years or something like that. He's in there for a long time.
Oh, shit.
His whole body is covered. I did some little tiny lettering on his, like, just on the bottom of his wrist. Like, right,
Damn.
the only space he had left open. All of his work was done in prison, and it's amazing.
Oh, shit.
I was looking at it, and he's like showing me his arms. I was like, "That was done in prison?" He's like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Dude, that is killer. Like, that is rad."
Shit.
He's like, "Yeah, the guy owns a shop now." And I was like, "Yeah, good."
Cool.
He
Well,
fucking
there you
deserves it.
Yeah.
And he showed me his back, his torso, his legs covered, 100%. All of it, just smooth, solid, beautiful work. And I was blown away. It was awesome.
Oh, yeah, no, and that's, I
But
guess. No, not
That's
so.
that's the 1%.
Yeah, definitely, I mean, I've seen some, I guess maybe prison's different. I've seen some county tattoos that have, looked like shit, But
Yeah.
I mean, maybe if you're in for longer, more time, I don't know,
Yeah.
It's,
Yeah, I can't remember where he said the guy. I can't remember where he was in prison. It wasn't around here. I think it was like Midwest, somewhere
Oh.
over there. Yeah, he said the guy owns a shop and
that's cool.
doing really good for himself. So
That's good, and yeah, I mean not. But again, it's some just because the theme started, I guess in the prison system, anything doesn't mean that it has to be associated with it forever, I guess
Right.
traditional just has to get with the program,
yeah.
or at least the people who don't understand traditional, I should say. But okay, so in the field, like who are some artists you admire?
Oh man, there's a lot.
All right, I feel it.
Like some just in Spokane, like Chris Briggs, Brandon Bobst, Getty.
Oh fuck yeah, fucking Getty, yeah.
Yeah, Christian.
Oh yeah,
Christian Lies.
Where is Christian now?
Oh man,
That dude's everywhere.
he's everywhere. He was just in like Denver, then he went to Maine. I think he's in like Salt Lake now.
He's fucking
Or
touring,
Boise. He
Damn.
just goes everywhere.
right?
It's
well,
crazy.
He's awesome.
And he drives his car everywhere.
Wow. Really?
Everywhere.
Oh, shit.
Actually, no, I think he did fly to Maine.
Okay.
But he drove down to Denver. I think he flew from Denver to Maine, and then go
Damn.
back, and went up to Salt Lake, Boise. Then he'll be back in Spokane in January, I think he said.
Oh, sweet.
And then back in Alaska, where is now kind of like his home base now is Alaska.
Okay, so he's kind of doing the Alaska thing again?
Yeah, which is great. I mean, he's so busy up there. So
Oh, good for him, you know?
Yeah.
It's, okay.
I'm surprised he's not busy everywhere. His work is just
No,
out of this
seriously.
world.
I love, yeah, it's
And he's like, I don't know, nonstop tattoo paint job does not stop.
that dude's always working.
Always working.
I remember that, yeah, for a while before he left for Alaska, he was living here in Browns, right?
Yep.
I remember running into him a couple times at the grocery store and just being like, hey, what's up, Christian? You know?
Yeah.
Just-
Yeah, super cool dude.
yeah, he's, oh man. So do you remember the first tattoo you gave?
Yeah.
Okay, nice. What was that?
It was that traditional rose on my friend's thigh
Oh, shit.
on his birthday.
Damn.
Yeah.
That is...
And yeah, like I said, I still see it, and I've never touched it up, and it's terrible.
Hey, you know, but I mean, it's a nice reminder, you know? It's...
Well, I mean, that's the first tattoo I gave on somebody else.
Okay.
The first one I ever did was on my thigh.
Ooh,
And it
okay.
was a Sailor Jerry piece.
Okay,
It was
nice.
The dagger going through the heart.
Ooh.
That the banner is like, it says love.
Yeah. So, like, since you were doing that on your... my next question was actually if you tattooed yourself.
Yeah.
But, okay, so you have. And then did you have to do that upside down?
Upside
or-
down. Yeah, so what? It was really nerve-wracking, obviously.
Yeah, I can
you know.
imagine. It's...
And it was sprung on me. Like I was, so when the first like big project when I was in my apprenticeship was to repaint all of Sailor Jerry's Flash.
Okay.
So I've got books and books of his Flash that I've repainted. But I was painting and I was doing a Flash sheet, and it was that one, the dagger and the heart. I was going to dip my brush in the water, and I spilled the water. And so I spilled the water, and I went to the bathroom to get some paper towels, and I came back and I was cleaning it up, and Getty's like, tattoo that on your thigh right now. And so I kind of looked at him like, all right. And I think he wasn't tattooing, so he set me up, or I set up in his station.
Okay.
And because I didn't have any equipment, I had nothing. And so I set everything up, put a stencil on, and it was Getty and a guy named that was there at the time. They were both just watching me the whole time, doing it, and yeah, shaking.
Oh. I bet.
My leg was twitching, my foot, was shaking, so like my whole leg was twitching, and
And then you had to work the machine with your other foot, I'm guessing,
Mhm,
right?
yeah.
Oh, man, that'd be...
yeah, yeah, it was very nerve wracking. Kind of found out later that was kind of a test
Okay.
to see if
Okay.
I had the guts to do it.
Shit, that'd be...
So-
Oh, man, wow. Yeah, I probably couldn't, It's... Damn. All right, and, just, I guess, kind of in the... I was going to talk on it a little bit earlier, but I forgot to. I got nervous or whatever when we started recording, but, just the name of this show, the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast, I picked it because it's, kind of catchy.
Yeah.
I guess I used the word sexy at first, when I was telling my brother, hey, that sounds like a sexy name, right? It's not a sexy name, I guess, the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast. Kind of
It was a sexy name.
It was a sexy name when it was just the girlfriend type.
Right.
But no, and I guess one reason that I thought of that name, one thing I really enjoyed, or I guess not enjoy, but one reason that I thought of was a lot of the tattoos I've seen that people regret, and whether that means removal, cover up, yada yada, you name it, it's an ex-girlfriend thing, maybe it's something that we got, or, it could be any ex-partner, spouse, whatever, but a name, a date, a tribute image, a matching one, any shit like that, so that was one thing that I kind of decided to name it after.
Yeah.
And so that being said, what tattoos, in your professional experience, should people not get?
Definitely girlfriends or boyfriends' names. That's a good one. Or spouses' names. If you're 18 years old, don't get your fucking face tattooed like these idiots that are doing it now.
Shit.
I kind of think, you don't get your hands tattooed until you have full sleeves. You don't get your neck tattooed until you have your hands tattooed. You don't get your face tattooed unless you have your neck tattooed. So it's like pretty much you have to be like fully covered.
So it's kind of like the arm bones connected, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
You gotta get sleeves, then your hands, then after your hands, then your neck, then your neck, then your face. Well, that should be the right order,
It should, yeah. But man, these days I just tattooed this kid's face a few months ago. He's
Damn.
20 years old, but he was sleeved out, hands done. He already had 2 other tattoos on his face.
Okay, so
And
it's...
so I was like, oh, your face is already tattooed.
Would you
All
ever
set.
tattoo someone if it was like this totally virgin canvas, I'm just turned 18, coming in for my first tattoo. Would you do a face?
No.
Or okay.
No.
You just outright refuse.
Yeah. I think it's I know these days, it's a lot more lenient to have tattoos in your workplace, But when you're 18 years old and 18, 19, oh, shit. I didn't start tattooing until I was like 20. I didn't get my apprenticeship, I was like 25, 26. Because I had no idea what I wanted to do. So if I got my hands or my neck done before then, my options would have been extremely limited. So to tattoo an 18-year-old kid who thinks he has the world figured out, his face that he's going to be a rapper,
Oh my god.
it's not going to work out. I mean, it might, but
a lot of other things would have to work out too.
Yeah, chances are pretty slim. I mean, shit, if I got tattoos when I was 18 that I wanted when I was 18, my body would be blacked out right now.
The tattoos I wanted at 18 that I got at 18 are under bigger tattoos now. So yeah, I feel that. It's crazy. Just people getting faces and hands done. I mean, even then, like I don't know. I don't personally see the appeal in a face tattoo. For me, it's just like I think I'd probably eventually I'd get my entire neck done, but higher than that,
I won't get my face tattooed because my mom. I think it would make her very, very sad. And so,
fair enough. I guess I'm kind of vain, and I realize I'm like, the face is the moneymaker right here.
Right,
I don't want to fuck that up, And of course, the other thing, I mean, just some of the tattoos, like the facial tattoos I've seen on people who are older that got them when they were younger. It's like if you get that tattoo on your face at 18, it's there forever, and it's not going to look like that forever, especially because I feel like the face is one of the places that ages really badly. I mean, on a lot of people.
Yeah, you get the wrinkles and
crow's
saggier skin, and
I mean, if you think, God, if you see what old age does to, a fucking, like, shoulder tattoo, imagine it on your face. That's,
Yeah.
All right. Well, I mean, that kind of tied into the next thing I was going to say. So, would you say that a lot of tattoos on, the hands, neck, face, I mean, still considered career killers probably, but
yeah.
Would you say that it's definitely less lenient, or I guess, more lenient than it was 20 years ago?
Absolutely. I mean, you can go, anywhere now and you see somebody that's working with a visible tattoo, if it be on the hands, neck, or face. But, I mean, even full sleeves, like people have full sleeves now, and it's normal.
Totally, yeah. No, I mean,
it's not like you don't stare at somebody that has full sleeves. You might look twice, or some people might look twice if you got a big old fucking skull on your face.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's I mean, I remember like even when I was a little kid, I don't remember seeing as many people walking around with like full sleeves and chest pieces. But that being said, I mean, I really wasn't raised around tattoos or tattooing all that much. How about you? I don't think I asked that earlier, did I? Or
no. You didn't.
Okay,
but
sorry.
No, I'm the first one in my family to get tattooed.
Oh
like
shit!
When that's like when it comes to I guess I got some cousins that have like small like prison tattoos, but to actually be like heavily tattooed, I was the first one. Aunts, uncles, cousins. I like broke the mold.
Hey, there you go.
I was raised around kind of a not strict at all religious kind of household.
Okay, so things are kind of conservative.
Yeah, my parents are amazing. They're supportive in everything that we've done. Me and my other siblings. People that came around were a little more asking questions. Why would you do that to yourself? And
no,
I fucking wanted to.
Yeah, pretty much. I hear that. It's let's see. So my mom had a couple tattoos like while I was growing up. Now I think she has like a grand total of 4 or 5. So I mean, really not that many. I think my dad got one like while I was growing up. So they were never really around it. I remember being a little kid and just being fascinated with them.
Yeah.
Like I had one neighbor who had a couple Sailor Jerry pieces on his arms,
Nice.
and I'd always ask him, hey, what are those? And of course, he'd always say, proof that I was young and stupid once. And
yeah.
I think I'm going to start using that, It's
like my grandpa, he always said, because he was in the Marines for, I don't know, 30 years, 25, 30 years, I don't know. But he said he never got tattooed when he was in the service. He said he's either too drunk or never drunk enough.
Hey, there you go. It's, got to find that happy medium.
Yeah.
And then I think my mom was always very supportive. My dad, he didn't really get it at first, like when I started really getting into tattoos. Mm-hmm. But I think he's more or less come around at this point.
I could do, right?
Yeah, pretty much, or I could be totally wrong. Maybe he's just hating me in silence. I don't know. No, it's okay. But then yeah, on the subject of tattoos affecting relationships, career prospects, that type of thing, I guess you might be a little biased just because of the field you're in, but for a tattoo that someone no longer feels it's desirable, regretted, whatever, would you say that a cover up or a removal is a better option?
Well, if they're just regretting getting tattooed, just get it removed. If they're just regretting the tattoo and want something else, then obviously cover up. I have a few people that come in that hate the tattoo and they want to get it covered up. Throw all these options then be like, hey, what do you want to cover it? I'm like, nothing. It's like, well, go get it removed then. Like, no, I'm scared of laser. And it's like, well, I don't know what you want me to do because I can't remove
A
this
tattoo with a needle,
Like, can't you just put skin tone colored over it? It's like, no, you can't do that over black. It's not gonna work.
What the oh my god, what the fuck would that even look like?
Yeah, I mean, not good.
Yeah, no, that's that was one thing that when I got my first tattoo, my first tattoo is covered up because it was just a dumb 18-year-old, oh, I want a tattoo and I want it to be meaningful and special, so I'm gonna draw it.
Oh yeah.
Well, I can't fucking draw, and he did a good job. It was what I wanted, but it's kind of like, making a wish with a genie. You get what you want. It's
right.
Yeah, so I think when I covered that up, I thought about getting it lasered off, but that was like way more expensive than just covering, because I think the cover up was like $400 or $500.
Oh.
It was a fairly decent sized piece, but that's also around the same time I kind of realized, like, okay, well, if I cover this tattoo, I don't want any fucking say in what goes over it, I'm like, I think that the fact I'm covering this tattoo kind of proves I don't know shit about tattoos, so I'm just going to pay someone who, and I found, it was before I met you, it was another guy, I can't remember off the top of my head, but, I was like, oh, can you draw some traditional, and he, and he did a well enough
Was
job,
that the cover up?
Yeah, this guy on my left arm right here. Or no, I take that back. The one thing I did kind of say, because I said I wanted roses that were traditional, and he was like, okay, well, a lot of traditional pieces, will have some other like motif in there, like a dagger or something. And I was like, oh, well, hey, how about a dagger with a fountain pen tip, just because the pen's mightier than the sword, right? Okay. And would you say that there's a design, or I guess a type of design that you cover up more often than others in terms of cover-ups?
Oh, names.
A lot of names.
Yeah. Tattooed one guy. He had a really fucking badass piece. It was like a traditional eagle, like some roses and clouds and lightning and all that stuff. But it had a banner that had his wife's name in it. And he was on a shoulder blade, and I was like, man. He's like, I want this covered up. And I was like, dude, that's beautiful. Like, why do you want to cover it up? He's like, no, I just want the name covered up. And I was like, yeah, that's gonna be tough. Because, you can't do anything big enough over the banner to cover that without messing up.
Yeah,
And I was like, well, let's go get it lasered. He's like, nah. He's like, what are my options? And jokingly, I said, black the name out. He's like, okay. And I was like, no. I was like, go get it lasered, and then we can put another word in the banner or something else in the banner. He's like, no, black it out. And I actually tried to talk him out of doing it, of getting it blacked out. But he was like dead set on it. He's like, it's what I want. I want it blacked out.
Oh man.
And so I did it, but I kind of shaded it, so the banner had some more depth to it, so it kind of looked. It didn't look good, black bar, but what he wanted
looked like it's covering something else, you know. It's okay, yeah. For you, I guess, just because you draw so much, and a lot of the tattoos that you draw that go on other people, they're not going on you, So what do you think of tattoos having meaning?
A lot of people will come in and okay, I do understand losing a family member or a date that's very important to them. That's different. But a lot of people think that tattoos have to have meaning. Like the imagery needs to mean something, which I don't really think that. I think that when it comes to getting tattoos with meaning, it's more like the time and place in your life that you were at when you got the tattoo. That's what it means. The astronaut that we did on astronaut.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
On
my left wrist, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if that has meaning to you, but it's the date and time, or the time where you are in your life when you got it. I won't forget. I got plenty of tattoos that the imagery means nothing, but they mean a lot to me because I remember what I was going through in my life when I got it, and why I got it. So.
I'm very much the same way. A lot of these are just some of them I had an idea and I just kind of hit you up and I was like, hey, do you think this would fit there?
Yeah.
Or sometimes I'd send you a picture from my iPhone with a little circle of my arm just highlighted with the red, and I'm like, fuck me up, fam.
Yeah.
Because I visually, especially with tattoos, that type of thing, I don't know what I'm doing, so that's what you're for, You always design and execute it well, so I agree, most of my tattoos tattoo because people, they'll ask, oh, so what does this mean? And I've never really understood that because it's like, okay, so if it does have some deep sacred meaning, you're a stranger on the fucking street. Please, my life story. Let's go ahead.
Yeah. I always tell people I have like 3 tattoos that have like meaning, and I have a mom tattoo and a dad tattoo, and then I have that brain on a stack of books that's as broad as thy knowledge, and those 3 are like the most meaningful. Like I got the book, the brain of the books was when I got out of being religious.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
So that's means a lot to me.
No, definitely.
A lot of people think it's kind of offensive when I tell them why.
What?
But it's like,
no, I mean,
it's not your tattoo, man. This is my tattoo.
But how else do you get out of religion by not reading more books?
Right.
I mean, that's how you get into religion is with 1 or 2 books, but then getting out.
People tell you, yeah.
Getting out is several more books, so no, that makes sense. It's for the most part, my tattoos don't really have the imagery doesn't have meaning, but I agree completely. I can tell you what my life was like with a lot of these tattoos. Mm-hmm. So I think definitely the meaning of a tattoo. Tattoos don't have to mean shit.
Yeah.
But every tattoo has.
Also, like, man, if you like the design, looks cool, it fits, let's fucking do it.
Oh, hell yeah. Cares, No, totally.
Yeah, it's art.
And people always forget that tattoos, they don't have to be some big sacred undertaking. Sometimes they can just be fucking art, I mean, the same way a t-shirt or a cap, a painting on the wall. I mean, it's.
I do understand people are like, well, no, it's permanent. Like, yeah, it is permanent. But
I mean, permanent enough. Nothing's really permanent. I'm going to die eventually.
Yeah. Yeah, we all end up in the same ground.
Mm-hmm, exactly. But I can tell you, like what my life was like for a lot of these designs, but otherwise, it's like, it doesn't mean shit,
Yeah.
All right, yeah. And then, I think that every tattoo, whether or not you want it to, but no, I mean, it's, whether you want them to or not, tattoos will have a story, but they don't have to have meaning.
Exactly, yeah.
And just kind of moving along, so this is the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast. Cam, do you have any tattoos on your body that I guess are ex-girlfriend tattoos? Meet that criteria?
I have a couple that I got after a relationship.
Okay. Ooh. Okay. Yeah. No, I have.
Kind of like in the heartbroken state.
Ooh, that's that's the skull on the inside of my
Okay.
I feel that.
I have a cherry on my thigh that says "fuck love."
Ooh, there you go.
And I got that on Valentine's Day a couple years ago.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, a relationship just ended 2 days before that.
Ooh.
Yeah, I got another one. I got a sucker on my leg. She made me feel like I spent all my money on her. Made me feel like a sucker.
Yeah. No, that'll do it. That's oh man. I feel that. Let's see. I guess the only one that I have personally is these lips right here, like kind of by the ditch of my right arm.
Mm-hmm.
I was 22. I was seeing this girl, and I wanted to fill that space right there, but I just didn't know what I wanted. And one day we were just kind of like laying in bed, just kind of messing around, and she said I couldn't get a tattoo there, and I'm like, why? And she's like, because you already have a kiss, and she just. Kissed me right there, you know, and she just she claimed that space for herself and just kept kissing it, and I was like, oh, well, I just had an idea, and so, when she saw that, she really liked it, she was very, and of course, I mean, I knew it wasn't going to be anything serious, we weren't getting married or anything like that, so I was like, if I just can have a fun little reminder of, this very special time that I've gotten to spend with her and everything, I think it's a win. And I think we ended up breaking up like 3 months later to the day after I got that fucking tattoo. I remember, I think you were like with me that night.
Was that?
At Monterey?
Monterey?
Yeah, oh my god, we got so fucking hammered.
I don't remember how I got home that night.
God, me neither. It was, and then fuck, that's right, because she broke up with me on a Monday. I had tickets to go see Descendants on like Friday.
Coming Friday?
Yeah, that coming Friday. And so I ended up, my uncle ended up going with me. So that was nice. We hung out and everything. And then I think the day after, just because I had put away money because I wanted to, have like a special week. Because she didn't have her son that weekend either. So, we're just going to have, a special little, I figured go out, get dinner, see another show, just do all that fun shit. But I'm like, nope, fuck it. And I think, I was like, hey, Cam, you doing anything on Saturday? And you had it open somehow. So I was like, yeah, just put a fucking skull in there. I don't want this, date money just fucking up my. And then, so there was, I guess, those two. And then.
That's kind of going back to like the tattoos for the memories, Even though it might be shitty memories.
No, definitely.
It still has affected your life. Like, it kind of put you on a different path than you were taking. Now you're in this one.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's like, that really... so the one tattoo on my right arm that you didn't do was this really shitty, god-awful for rent heart in the the inside of my right bicep, which I'm so fucking sorry about again. That was over at I don't even remember the name of the guy who did it. He was just this dopey looking fucker. And he had done like a piece on me before when I went in with a group of friends. And, right before he did the piece, and of course, he found a reference on Google first and then did something kind of based on that. And I was like, okay, whatever, He's like, yeah, I'm just going to get a high reel first. Do you, and I was like, oh, and he's like, don't worry. I was high when I did the other piece on your leg too. And I was like, well, I mean, if this is how you work and this is how you can do it consistently, I was like, yeah, that's cool. And to his credit, he got me high too. He had the little dab pen out, and he was like, "All right, here, you go first, and I'll take one." And so we did that, and he fucked up that heart. I mean, you did end up fixing it later. I mean, as salvageable as it could be. I mean, it's like once the frame's been crumpled like that, there's only so much we can do, It's and the girl I was seeing at the time when I got that for rent heart, it really pissed her off. It wasn't like a super duper serious what it was a platonic best friend who suddenly did not want to be my platonic best friend anymore. And
some feelings.
Pretty much. Well, I mean, me a little bit more than her. I think she just wanted the dick. I mean, when it boiled down to it, I wanted her heart. She wanted my dick. And, and that really upset her, not because the heart wasn't hers, but because, no, that's not the kind of guy you are. And I'm like, well, it's kind of a fucking joke, Right. It's like, it's not like every etching on my skin has to be completely and 100% serious, It's that kind of argument and that conflict right there. And to this day, I mean, because we've gone back to being just friends, and all that shit. And she still hates that fucking tattoo. And but she's also one of the very much, the meaningful imagery tattoo camp, where I'm like, no, it's fucking funny.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, like, when I realized that she just didn't see the appeal in, like, American traditional like that, it kind of made me just question, like, how well are we going to work, period? If you don't get traditional, how well do you get me,
Right. Yeah, you're a very traditional kind of guy.
Yeah, I am a super traditional, non-traditional. It's okay, but yeah, and then I guess going on to that, just the little blurb I had about the shitty tattoo. How important do you feel professionalism is in a shop?
I think it's extremely important. I think people need to feel comfortable getting tattooed. I mean, they're spending a lot of money, trusting us with their skin, to put our work on. And I think if I walked into a shop and people were just kind of smoking weed in the shop or whatever, I wouldn't feel comfortable getting tattooed in there. I think that being professional gets you more business too.
Definitely, I'd say,
you being nice and respectful, clean, and you listen to the client goes a long way.
Oh, I agree, definitely. I think that, just sitting around smoking weed. And I mean, I'm a pretty big pothead, but even then I would say, at work, don't fucking do it at work.
And especially against people smoking weed. I don't smoke weed because it makes you freak out.
Yeah, no, that's your thing.
Attacks,
that's your thing, dude. Yeah.
But I'm not against it at all. I just think be professional about it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Be discreet. Don't be doing it at work right before, especially if you end up, fucking up my tattoo.
Cam and I took a short break in which I discovered the error on my part. I fixed the problem and then continued the interview. I'd ask, if you won the lottery, right? What would you still be tattooing? But I mean, honestly, if you won the lottery, there'd be so many fucking things different that, I mean, so theoretically, I guess, if a nuclear bomb went off Spokane County, everything's been completely annihilated. Life flashes before your eyes. Did you make the right choice becoming a professional tattooer?
Absolutely, I did.
No regrets.
No regrets at all. I would not change one thing in my life. Everything I've done in my life has led to me being a tattooer. Every career choice I made, working shitty jobs. But luckily, I never found a job I liked until I started tattooing. So it took me to tattooing.
Well, hey, there you go. Just keep.
But kind of going to the lottery thing. I've said this before, and I think if I won the lottery, I'd still tattoo. I'd be a little more picky with what I tattoo.
Yeah, and I mean, who you're tattooing, and I mean, probably not going to be working, like 5 days a week, right?
Right. But I love tattooing. It's so fun. When I'm tattooing, it's like, I don't know, everything's right in the world when I'm tattooing.
Yeah?
So, or drawing, painting.
Just as long as you're making art, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Just creating, and I feel just doing what I'm supposed to be doing on this world.
Well, fuck yeah. And I mean, if you got that feeling, what more can you ask for, right?
Yeah. Nope, I haven't had a bad day since I started tattooing. Even in my apprenticeship, when I was doing shit, picking up shit and puke.
Wow, well, from humble beginnings.
Right? It's still, I haven't gone to the shop in a bad mood Or if let's say feeling down that day, or a shitty relationship, or had a fight with my girlfriend or something like that. Once I'm at the shop and I'm hanging out with the guys at the shop, that shitty feeling has gone away, and it's just good.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
That's okay. Cool. And then, is there an accomplishment in your professional career that you're proudest of?
Right now it's winning in the traditional Tri-Cities Tattoo Convention.
Nice. Yeah, that's right. Because at the at Three Rivers show, you got third place in the traditional contest.
Yep.
What piece was that again?
That was a little compass on your arm.
My left forearm. This
Yep.
compass. It's never in a billion years did I think any part of my anatomy is going to win an award, but my fucking left arm. That was that threw me for a loop.
No, that was exciting. It was small, third place, small traditional, but hey,
It was your first professional victory.
Yeah.
It was cool,
Yeah. I mean, I remember there was 20. I remember this, and there was 26 entries.
There were a lot of people
category. So to get third, I was stoked, especially behind I think it was Lloyd from Monarch and Tri-Cities.
Oh yeah, that's
and
right.
Jeannie Newby, she got first.
Oh shit, that's
So
right.
to be on the podium with those two is fucking awesome.
Well, hey, there you go, man. It's all right. I mean, that was pretty much my interview. Do you any fun stories? Anything you want to add, man?
No, I mean, I guess not really.
Okay.
Nothing I can think of right now.
No, all
I'm
good.
sure I'll think of something on the drive home.
Right? Isn't that how it always goes? Well, it's all right. I'm thinking this won't be the last time you're on this show. You know?
Hopefully not.
Yeah,
I'd love to be back on.
Thank you. Hopefully I can figure my shit out on my end and get this to. Oh my God, I'm so sorry about that. So.
Well, by then we'll both be pros at it. So.
Hey, there we go. Right? I like it. All right. Well, yeah. So again, thank you so much, Cam. Yeah, that's Cam West at Living Skin Tattoo out in Spokane Valley. Cam, if you want to take a sec just to plug your social media, what have you, it's...
my Instagram is just Cam West Tattoos, and then Facebook is just Cameron West.
Sweet, yeah.
I wish I can change it to Cam, but every time I change my name to Cam on Facebook, they make me change it back to my real name.
What?
Cameron.
They won't let you put Cam on?
Nope. It'll be there for like a month, and then I'll get this thing that says it needs to be my full real name, which is
that's so dumb.
Fucking stupid. I hate it. I hate that Facebook.
Because I mean, I'll see people named like Mike and Tom on there, but you can't be a Cam.
And I wonder if it's because like when I filled out or when I did my profile, I put Cameron.
Oh,
which there's only a select few people in this world that can call me Cameron, and that's my mom and my grandma.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's like no, my name's Cam.
It's
that's
Cam.
just fucking shit. Okay, yeah. No.
But yeah, Cam West Tattoos on Instagram. Best place to get a hold of me, best place to find me.
Cam, I really can't thank you enough for this. Hopefully it turns out well again, and if not, we'll have the follow-up episode or something, So
Yeah, but that was cool. It was fun.
Yeah, well, hey, thank you so much. This is Austin Larson once again. We're signing off. Thank you for listening. All right. And that was my interview with Cam West. Cam, once again, really can't say thank you enough. Also, while I'm giving thanks, I want to thank my friend Hannah for helping me record the intro and the opening sketch for this episode. Loran, thank you for letting me fuck up that wonderful photo of us in New Orleans to use for the show's logo. Thank you for that, among other things. Brief bit about formatting here. The first handful of episodes are going to be interviews, but ideally in the near future, I'll be producing episodes kind of based around a central theme. These episodes might consist of interviews done both here, in person in my studio, and over Skype, monologues, and really anything else in between. I'll be putting calls out for submissions up on all the social media pages, but even before then, if you've got an idea for a topic you'd like to see covered on the show, maybe you know someone who would be a good candidate for an interview, maybe you'll be a good candidate for an interview. If you have any feedback at all, I would really appreciate that. Please go ahead, reach out to us. We're on Facebook at the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast. We're on Instagram as the Ex-Girlfriend Tattoo Podcast. Send us an email at exgirlfriendtattoo@gmail.com. And this show is going up on Apple Music, Spotify, Stitcher, all your favorite ways to listen to podcasts. But in the meantime, if you just want to get us directly from the source, it's exgirlfriendtattooPodcast.buzzsprout.com. All these are one word, no spaces, no hyphens. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed listening as much as I did making this.